you? Okay, you got something you want to... Yeah? Hold on a second. All right, let's listen up for a minute.
Sorry, you guys just put something together last night, and I really felt led to share my testimony with you guys. I've never shared it before with anybody. Speak loud. Okay, sorry. I grew up in a Christian home and accepted God as my personal Lord and Savior at a young age. I couldn't tell you an exact moment that my life drastically changed. I just know that God has always been in my life. He is my Father, and I am His child. When I was 16, God had placed some major trials in my life. My sister, who was my best friend, was very sick. She had been ill for quite some time, and the doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. After exhausting every avenue in all fields of medicine and herbal remedies, we found ourselves sitting by what seemed to be her deathbed, wondering how much more pain her body could endure before giving up. My parents were also going through difficulties of their own. Unsure if they could keep their marriage together, they decided to wait until I graduated before separating. And that October, I had 3 grand mal seizures, and I was soon diagnosed with epilepsy. My world had officially crumbled. With my newfound independence quickly stripped away due to epilepsy, I began to question God about these trials that He had placed in my life. I tried to reason with Him that I had done everything right. I read my Bible, I prayed, I attended church. I had just spent the previous summer serving God in Japan with a missionary family. Why was He punishing me? Feeling abandoned by God and facing the reality of living with epilepsy, I soon grew weary. I had memory loss from the seizures and had to start from below basics when I entered college. Continuing on with work and school, I became depressed and thought life not worth living. And after 2 years of this drudgery, I began to push God away. I then got sick with mono and was so weak I had to quit my job. Now I was mad at God, taking away even more of my independence. And then the following month, I found out I was pregnant. That was it. I had reached the lowest point in my life and had come to the end of myself. I couldn't go on any longer without God's help. I repented and turned back to Jesus. He has shattered my pride and emptied my life from everything but Him. He showed me that His grace is sufficient for me, and that when I am at my weakest, His strength is made perfect. His grace covered me for the following 6 months as I went through countless doctor's appointments. Because of the side effects of my medication, my doctors advised me to have an abortion. And after fighting to keep my baby, I then had to take numerous tests and go to counseling to learn about how many birth defects she would have. If she didn't have spinal bifida and Down syndrome, she was definitely going to be mentally and developmentally delayed, and her face would be disfigured. But to God be the glory, she came out perfect. God makes all things beautiful in His time. I now had a purpose to live, and I now had a reason to keep pressing on. Because of this trial, I have grown closer to God, and now when life gets hard, instead of running away, I run to Him. Amen.
All that I